Okay, hello, welcome to the tour. Welcome to the Scratch account tour. Today, today I will be going through the whole history of MinceraftLive. Just because I've hit 300 followers. I've hit 300 followers like 2 days ago. So let's get it started. We're gonna start it all the way to the very beginning, formerly known as my first ever project, called The Conversation with Scratch Cat and Goble. This was the project that started it all, just from one simple project. So I'll play this one. I'll play this one real quickly. As you can see, this is the basic conversation between them.
Me too. Scratch cat and bye. Bye.
See, after they talked, they nicely just walked away. So now it's time to go to the next project, which is when I've created my first game. This was when I've created my first ever game called Scratch Fall Platform. This was when it was made just from like a Griff Patch tutorial of some sort, and this was when I remixed it from a project called Space a Platform. As you can see, it's not rather much. It's just like a regular game, of course, since I'll try my best to play through it. See, it's essentially just really basic. Like I have 10 lives, I just need to go through here. I may not play the rest of it, but it's just the whole thing right here. But now for the next project, which is Scratch Cat meets his old looks, which was when I remixed it from a old project called Fun Bros meets her old looks. Like it was basically when Scratch Cat meets his old looks, and it's kinda funny
I'm
somehow.
Scratch Cat from Scratch 2.0.
See if I'm like talking.
And I'm Scratch Cat from Scratch 2.0 Alpha. Is he okay? Don't know.
Okay, so as you could see, it just ends like that. And it was so funny right here. But now, I may go to the project that the character itself shows up, which is called Minceraft. But at the time, this character didn't have the name on it. Didn't have an official name back then. But it first showed up on 5 Facts You Didn't Know About, which is the whole title. You can see me just very much go. I may click on Facts, which is basically just showing up facts, like Fact 2. This is really showing some very basic facts. Eventually, when it was just a few days later, I would use this character for something much bigger, but yeah, you can see here, this is rather like nothing much. So we have enough game I've made. It's time for me to go to the quest card. As you can see right here, when I click on this project.
Man, I don't know how I'm going to get a lot of views, hearts,
But
stars,
man,
remixes,
back then when I
and comments
released
since
this
my first ever
project, this was when I was
Oh, I know what to do with
so
that.
desperate
Gotta
for
send a
like
card to someone to follow the
followers,
quest to
so
order to become
desperate for
popular again.
views. Just man, I was such like a different kid back then.
Okay, now since I create my card, it's time to send the card.
Oh my
Ah, what a nice day, walking outside, and enjoying my day as well. When did this card came from? But anyways, let's see what's inside of the card.
But now, like when I click it here, it said since long ago, since my first project is released, I got popular long ago, and it was just explaining some stuff like we need to get popular again from from the first project until now. But yet, I was so desperate for views back in the day, so I would do anything for it. And I'll go to the next one that is interesting to me, which is Minceraft's Play Store. This was the project of when I gave this character an official name called Minceraft.
Hello, welcome to the tour.
And you can
Today
see,
I will show you where we scratch on, and
it's
let's get
just-
started.
Like I'll let it play for a bit. See, it's just taking a
This is where
whole
you can see
toll
my
of like
projects right there.
the like scratch profile and all that.
This is where I unshare and share things. This is where I edit what the project says, and you can click the profile above right there.
Man, I can't believe I literally just shared my stuff on it. Like this was a little bit insane.
This is the end of the tour. I hope you will heart it, star it, remix it, and comment it at any time and buy.
See, that was like rather insane. I just literally just took screenshots of myself on it, of my stuff on it. It's rather insane. But either way, let's continue up to the next project. This was called Minceraft Summer Vacation 2022. This was when I made a sign up for Scratch's Vacation 2022. See, when I click this project, like I have to literally
Welcome
wait
to the
for
summer and view the
this to
versions of me on summer.
I have to literally wait for the thumbnail to start. I have to literally wait for the thumbnail to rise up until it could start. And that's when the earlier times came from. But I think I would. But hold on, I think I need to do something. Look. Okay, I just had to type on something. But this was when like I got around 8 followers. This was essentially when I took a whole screenshot. Of my whole followers when I can just put it on into one page, which is really remarking since I probably got confused with it. See, it's just the usual stuff like OC's name, age, gender, like and dislike, that's basically it. Now, this is something remarking for this account. This was when I became a scratcher. Was doing because before the project's release was May 13th, 2022. I was like a new scratcher of where wasn't able to upload like studios and all that. But this day is when I became a scratcher, to be able to upload studios. But let's play this project.
Hello, you know what today is it? Today is that I become a scratcher. Yes, since I become a scratcher, I want to celebrate this one by making a game for all of you. And bye.
It's just like a really simple project telling like the feel that I've became a scratcher. Like it was something iconic from like history and all that for this account. But now to celebrate this one, I've created a game called a watched pot never boils, auto click with a twist. Like I created that, and then after this project, the 15 years of scratch, and then I created another one of how I got my username called MinceraftLive. It was when I described of how I got the username back then, and then I will go to the project that literally changes it all. This was when, for this project, that I've introduced more characters than just Minceraft. So I will play this project here. To wait for this to come up.
Okay, so I'm going to see the news to see what's going on today's news.
Today's news is that the Minecraft Raiders is raiding the Scratch world, and it was going to be bad. So can you help stop the Minecraft Raiders?
Oh no, that's not good. I need to show this to my friends. My friends come ASAP. This is very bad and it's also very serious.
So you can see,
What's the problem, Minceraft?
we have like Garen,
You have to see
or
the
at the time it was called Scratch Cat. Like I've used the name Scratch Cat
Oh
because
my god.
the names were different back
We need
then.
to let our friends to see
Like
this.
characters that you known of, like you can see here.
We need to stop the Minecraft.
This is
Raiders
Minceraft
ASAP.
2.0.
Yes, I accept that. Scratch Cat.
This was like Robot Cat and Joyum here. But at the time, Joyum is called Jacob Cat. So, and then once they came to somewhere, we have the first ever premise of evil Minceraft. See that his eyes were red back then. Like see, they went into the fight with basically they're fighting like a field game of where they take turns and all that, which was essentially like pretty funny to see now, since I made this like 3 years ago. It was very much like funny right here.
Okay, I will stop
Just
the
it was
fighting.
so much different back then.
To go somewhere else. So go by. Okay, since my evil self is gone, it's time to stop the Minecraft Raiders right now.
And then after they fight, Minceraft and his friends came to the field where they would fight off the Minecraft Raiders. If you're wondering what are the Minecraft Raiders,
We are ready for the battle between us and Minecraft Raiders.
I may refer to you.
Okay,
No, the project may refer to you.
one, go.
And these are the Minecraft Raiders. I essentially just used a picture of a pillager with banners on top of their heads and just scattered them out as the Minecraft Raiders. Like man, back then I would use the images just to make content and all that. See? This was clearly made by the image, including this one. Like back then was so much different.
We did it, Scratchers. We defeat the Minecraft Raiders.
Yes, we did defeat the Minecraft Raiders.
Okay, since we defeat the Minecraft Raiders, it's time to go home, right, guys?
Yes,
You
Minceraft.
would see
We're
back
going
then
home.
I would
Okay.
really let the character say like the same, or let the character say the sentence at the same time.
I love having
And after they defeat the Minecraft Raiders, we see the evil Mincer just hanging out, and with the first premise of Disbond, or known back then as Evil Black Cat.
I'm so mad that the Minecraft Raiders is defeated by the Scratchers.
So, what can we do then?
We need is to send more Minecraft Raiders more than before ASAP.
Okay, sure, I will do them now.
You can see once Evil Mincer is mad, this spawn goes here just to bring in more raiders, and see it said to be continued because the Scratchers vs Minecraft Raiders is a whole on series that I've made. Once after this project has been made, I made nostalgic scratch things that make you cry, and then the next thing is the Scratches Occasion 2022 poster. This was basically when I put myself into the
Hello,
poster,
welcome to the Scratchers Summer Vacation 2022.
and this was said like, hello, welcome to the Scratch 2022. Like you can see, this memorable moment for me was when, for like foreshadowing, now would literally for like a future event that I will do when I get into it soon. So once after I made that, and at the time for Scratches 2022, I only joined for the poster. I did not join for anything else. So it was a little bit of an odd premise, but it was like it had a little bit of its charm. Now we get to the most popular game. We get to the most popular project that I have that's still here up to this day currently, which is Slime Invasion. Because it's another like Griff Patch styled one. When you click here, want to try to play it around. See, like, trying to go for here. See, it's just like any like shooter game somehow. But I wouldn't really play it, since like wherever you're trying to go to these games, they're like really like broken somehow. So I don't really think you would really try them, but you could if you like. And then I've made another game called Scratch Clicker, and another one called Click the Minceraft. And then we get to this project called Music. See, when I click on this project,
Hello, you will make some music by clicking the speaker to make music. And I got a new look today.
yeah, you can see here, Minceraft has got a new look, and I've gotten like a new thumbnail was made because of that. See, like the black outlines doesn't exist from the outside of the body, but only the face is black. But what this music is gonna do, it's gonna play like a horrible audio that I've made by recording on my phone. But yeah, it's just nothing much. But you can see here that Minceraft has changed his look a bit, but It's just for like the beta version of like the update I like to call the new looks update. And then I've made another like add yourself remix. And this project is when I reached 100 views. When I reached 100 views from a project which is called Slime Invasion, because that project has reached 100 views. And also for the thumbnail,
Hey, guys, do you know what
this
today
was
is?
when I no longer had. This is when you no longer have to wait the thumbnail
Today
to
is that
go
we
up
reached the 100 viewers by the
to
game called
start.
Slime Invasion. But by the way, it was
And
a
you can
short
see
project
that
for this
Minceraft
device.
is changed into this one when the black outlines in his face is just gone now. It's just all colored in. Like this was a historic moment when this was my first project to reach 100 views from Slime Invasion and all that. But now, right after this project was made, I'll go to the project that's called The Dawn of Scratch vs. Minecraft Raiders. This was like the second episode of the Scratches vs. Minecraft Raiders. And if I were to click the green flag here, see, still have this, still have that. See, you may notice that the style might be the same.
Minecraft Raiders.
This was still made in the old style from before.
Tell me what it was?
The Scratchers defeated the
See,
Minecraft Raiders.
it's literally getting content from the previous episode.
I'm so mad that the Minecraft Raiders is defeated by the Scratchers.
So, what can we do then?
We need is to send more Minecraft Raiders more than before ASAP.
Okay, sure, I will do them now.
And you can see after that previously ended,
Okay, since me and my friends defeat a lot of Minecraft Raiders, let's see what's on the news today.
Today's news is that the Minecraft Raiders is back, but this time it's bigger than ever, and it was going to be bad. So can you help stop the Minecraft Raiders?
Oh no, that's not good. I need to show this to my friends
see
now.
the same situation
My friends come
happens
ASAP. This
of
is very
when
bad.
like the
It's
Minecraft
also
Raiders
very
came
serious,
back and
this
they
time it's
alert
super
their
bad.
friends on it.
What's the problem, Minceraft?
Essentially, it's the same thing as the first episode. See, they're in shock that the Minecraft Raiders
Oh
are
my
back,
God, it's really super bad, and this time it's twice as before.
and
We need to let our friends
and just
defeat
after a little bit more time, rest of his friends
We
came
need
to see the
stop
TV.
Minecraft Raiders ASAP, right, my friend?
Yes, I accept that. Scratch cat.
Okay, then let's do it.
And then they came into the field
Are you ready for the battle between us and the
just to
Minecraft
literally battle the Minecraft Raiders again.
Yes, we are ready for the battle between us and Minecraft Raiders.
Okay, here we go in 3, 2, 1, go.
See him having a diamond sword, just attacking those Minecraft Raiders. You may notice that the Raiders have gotten like larger because I've added more pillagers to it. See, it's like the same thing as before. Just they'll continue fighting it off and all that.
Yes, we did defeat the Minecraft Raiders.
Okay, since we defeat the Minecraft Raiders, but I wonder where these Minecraft Raiders came from. I wonder the same thing.
Me too.
Me three.
And I would used to like, say me three, me four, or really whatever.
Okay.
But now this time they came in into
Minceraft's castle.
Evil Minceraft's castle. See? that evil Minceraft is now mad because Minceraft's friends came to fight him. And then the fighting scene will come from to the next episode, which is the Battle of Scratches versus Minecraft Raiders. But now, right after this episode, there's a bonus episode for it, because this bonus episode is essentially when Minceraft's friends just introduced themselves to like the fuse itself.
Hello, my name is Scratch Cat and I'm with Minceraft.
And see, you notice the size difference.
Hello, my name is
Back then I would set up the size difference entirely.
Hello, my name is Robot Cat and I'm with Minceraft and my friends. Hello, my name is Jacob Cat and I'm with Minceraft and my friends. You can see that us are in the series called Scratchers versus Minecraft Raiders. And it's time to go, so bye.
Okay, so it's just like a basic introduction from like the series itself, and then what I did here is I did over here is I did more remixing. I made enough game, which is Pong. If you're wondering what Pong is, basically it's like when the ball goes here and there, but it's just really like a Pong game. It's not much. So when I go to and then next I made enough remix from a Add Yourself project, enough remix self, and I made raycasting. Like I got it from Griff Patch, of course, and then I go to the next thing, which is the battle of Scratches versus Minecraft Raiders. This was when like this is essentially like the last episode of the whole series itself. So I'm gonna play this one, but also welcome to the tour. You see, like they're fighting with evil Minceraft right now. See, like Minceraft has took out his Neverite sword, and they're almost done fighting because evil Minceraft is about to be killed very much soon with the R blaster, and evil Minceraft gets killed.
Yes, we defeat my evil self. So, what are we going to
It's
do?
the first time like ever that evil Minceraft was
Destroy my evil self's place.
killed essentially, and what they did is they will eventually explode the place.
Okay, it's time to blow up my evil self's place right now by using TNT.
But look at this. I would literally use this. They're like from games and all that. This just looks ridiculous.
Okay, now it's time to go to our place to show that we saved the world.
You see when they made it to the stand, because it shows
We saved the world.
that they saved the world.
We did it. Minceraft.
They saved the world. but now it's gonna end eventually because there gonna be post credits on it. And you can see with terrible audio quality, it would show up the credits and would show up pictures of the whole series going on. See, with live production, MinceraftLive, it's just play for like producers or something. Like this whole thing is just silly. But well, as you can see, I may not let you watch the whole thing because while this is going on, I may tell you more. Like when, like right after this project was created, I created a game called Money Clicker, then another project called I'm Back from my main account. And after this was when I've created a project for the new profile picture. As you can see, this was the previous one that was shown over here, while we have the two characters. We have like the one that is like foreshadowing for like a future like character. We have another secret character that's gonna be like it's gonna have its official name soon. Just it's like the profile picture, but it's nothing much. But it looks like for the post credits that it might be the post credits might show up soon. But also, welcome to anyone that's watching this tour. Like I'm currently taking the whole tour of the Scratch account itself. So I'm just showing out my whole journey here. Looks like it's still going on, but in the meantime, I've created more things right after this. I've created multiplayer test and background scoring test. And then the next project is when it's like question 1 for my main and art channels. Because back then I would used to have an art channel for something, but I forgot what need. Okay. This was when I would use the art account for something.
Which one are you going to pick for my main and alt channels for my look? Also, this will affect the other characters.
As you can see, when this happened, most people voted for Heart, meaning they voted for this style here. This was when it would eventually start changing. But now, back to this one. See? The post credit from there. This was when this spawned. Or back then is Evil Black Cat comes to see that Evil Minceraft is basically dead. See, with this magic wand,
Yes, I'm back.
it allowed Evil Minceraft to be healed.
Thank you so much, Evil Black Cat.
You're welcome. But by the way, what do you want to do?
What I want to do is that I want to destroy the Scratchers again, but in a different project.
Okay, if you say so. But let's go.
You can see right after this, they walk off, and the main series ends. But now back to the current one of the tour. As you can see, once I go to the next project, this was when I've made plans for the next year. Like as you could see, we have a few projects here. We have the Scratchers vs. Minecraft Raiders, the future raids, including Girls Takeover, the Minceraft's Scratch Show, what if Scratchers vs. Minecraft Raiders met with Attack of Robo Dinosaur, Battle of Scratchy Elimination, and Scratchers Baby Fantastic Adventure. As you can see, most of these projects would arrive to next year, while this one is cancelled, this one will be sent back to be like next year somehow, but right after like 2023, because this will be repurposed for something later. then the next one is Boyd's. If you know what Boyd's is, it's like that floats around and all that. Just it's like another griff patch one. And then this is where something remarking happens. As you can see, this one is what I like to call the cat human update, because it spanned for like 3 projects, for like multiple projects before 2022 ended, because it released in September 3rd. 2, it showed up the new look for MinceraftLive's friends, because I just got it from like the griff patch one. Like it's the exact model of the cat. See, they have all types of turns, they have all types of falls, they just like sprint and run. It's just a showcase of like what their new looks is gonna be. And this one over here is when I created my first AY, but all the way back at October 3rd, 2022. It's rather nothing much. It would show up as Happy Halloween, and that's basically it. But back then, since it was a lot different when not many people get to see it, so only one person did, which is empty. Daddy 1234. It wasn't really much back then, so the AY did not get much remixes, obviously. But of course, right after this project, I've created the maze and health balls test. It's just 2 enough of things. And then we made like the one for Robot Cat and Minceraft 2.0. And this was when I've created like this was when I created the profile picture for 2023. This was when the profile picture from before, that's right here, has been removed. And then you have all these characters from before. Just if you compare the one from 2023 to 2022, you will not see much difference. Like they're similar. But right after this project, this was when I've created like the this was when I created sign up for Scratch's opening presents 2022. It's just the same thing as the Scratch's certification 2022, when I would like sign up and all that. Just it's nothing special here. I made like an intro test, because when I opened this project up, see, it's just like a test for like a intro, but I ended up never using it. It's just like a test for a intro somehow. So it was an interesting intro I've made. And now we get to the next one, which is Jacob Cat in female Robot Cat. This was when I've added Robot Cat to it as the official OC. See, it's the same thing, but I added female Robot Cat as a new OC, or as like official character to MinceraftLive. But now, right after this project, I've created the particles test. And then there's the Scratch's opening present 2022. When I go here, you can see I've remixed it from this person. That later on, I would like take ideas from, because back then when I did this project, I didn't know who that person is back then. Like, I was surprised that much later when I realized that I got ideas from this person, that I remixed it from this person and never known about it. Just, it's a little bit funny to me. Now I'm just gonna play this project. See, it's like these scratches. Opening presents 2022. Just I would like let it play for a little bit, because you would eventually see me there. You see the as you can see right there, as you can see right there, they're just like separately like opening presents to reveal their gifts, and like wherever like the villains open the presents, they get something bad. That's usually what this project is. Well, I think I could let it. I think I'll let it play more, but I would have known eventually if you watch this project, you would see me there. Like, but now, anyways, fo. Anyways, fo, let's continue the tour. But hold on one moment. I need to quickly do something here. Okay. So if I were to, so right after this project, this is like the last this was the last project before 2023 starts, basically. As you could see, this was released in December 27th, 2022. This was when I released new looks for Evil Minceraft and Evil Black Cat. As you could see, this was the last thing I had to release before 2023 to finish up the update. See, that's the, you can see that some things aren't like perfect here. This was made back then from 3 years ago, so it would look a little odd. Before right after this project, there was like the New Year's project. This was when it was released at January 1st, 2023. Like, I think we're basically done with 2022 projects. Like, I'm already done with it, but I'll play this one. Century Fall. As you can see, they're just gonna walk one by one. Just one by one. Like, you can even see these visual glitches. That is like
Are you guys
insane.
ready for the ball? Yes, we are ready for the ball. Also, say goodbye.
But now, as you can see, there's the ball right here. It's gonna eventually drop when it's starting to count. And also, I remixed it from another old project, because back then I like really old stuff like this,
Happy New Year, everybody.
of when I would remix from old projects. Like you can see, there's the Happy New Year one, and this was when in some point now I would use some sort of extension to work with transparency. Man, that had some charm on it. Oh, hold on. Hold on, I just. Okay. Now let's continue. But hold on. Just I need to do something about it. Hold on. There we go. Now let's continue. Because once I click into this project, as you could see, this is called my best bits of 2022. This is basically when it was basically recapping. It was recapping from like 2022. This was showing like best bits of May. Popular game called Slime Invasion was created. It's simply like a summary of 2022 of what I did from it. Just it's nothing much. But this was when from earlier this year that some things are starting to change around early 2023. Like you could see, compared from this date, which this project was released at January 21st, 2023, to my best bits of 2022. But now when I click on this project, it's just having the first ever poster I've made. You could see here, like, this is just a basic poster. So yeah, I may exit out, but now I'm just officially done with a page of my projects. But as you could see over here, this whole thing is like, it's like when I've made the birthday countdown series. This was when every day I will post a project, include one for a game, which is Scratch's RPG and Scratch's RPG preview. But okay, what is going on with the live stream? But well, as you could see right there, that is wrong with stream. Huh. Sorry about that. It's just like I try to do live streaming again, so. But either way, when I click into this project, because when I click on this project, this came from Fetcherson, of course. I caught the happy 22nd birthday from the Anti-5 sisters. Man, back then I would remix like some projects on it.
Happy birthday, Minceraft.
Thank you so much.
So it's basically like saying happy birthday to Minceraft. See? Because this was when I celebrated my 13th birthday on there. Like, man, look at all of this. If I were to recreate the same like event that's there, I would make it much better. But either way, right after this project, I've really scratched his RPG and Scratch's RPG preview. This was this was my last games that I ever made just for this account because I quit game development for a reason. One is because there were some bugs I couldn't fix about and that made it seem frustrating. And two, I realized that all the games I've made before were just unoriginal, like anyone else with the same title couldn't make it. So eventually I just like moved away from game development because of that. But now we go to the next project, which is April Fools. As you could see, compared from this project, which was released on February 26, 2023. When this was released on February 26, 2023, compared to the April Fool's one, see, it's like a completely like a month delay. No, not a month delay. I meant to say like a month gap. Like it's almost a month gap. Like that's noticeably a huge gap between of when I post projects. Like you could see from this April Fool's one, it wasn't much. It's just like Minceraft and Minceraft 2.0's gender was swapped, but it's nothing much. And then I go here. See, this is when I create poster for Scratches versus Minecraft Raiders. Girls take over. This is like essentially a spin-off to the main series. See over there, it's all pink. Like it's a little ridiculous that it's all pink like this.
What a beautiful day today. I wonder what's on the news today.
Today's news is that the Minecraft Raiders is back raiding the Scratch world again. It was much better than before, so can you help stop the Minecraft Raiders?
The Minecraft Raiders.
So I'm just gonna let it play a bit.
I will call my friends right now. Plus, friends come ASAP. I need you to show something now. What seems to be a problem? You need to see this. This is very serious.
Wait a minute, what's going on?
Oh no, this is very serious.
Minecraft is just. It is new castle they just built. See, the castle's looking different now.
After for so long, I rebuilt the castle back, but this time it's better. Now, I can take revenge from the Scratchers from a long time ago.
Evil Minceraft, there's something wrong.
What's going on, evil black cat?
The Scratchers are now back, better than before. And they are saving the Scratch world, but this time it will be girls.
What? This is very bad. We need to get rid of them, now.
But how are we going to get rid of them?
It was by releasing the Minecraft Raiders, but make it much stronger right now.
Well, I could play it more, but I think I can go over more. But as you could see here, once after this project, I'll go to the next project. It's called Question 2. But as you can see, I just remixed it on this project for like 100+ followers. Cause I think back then I was so desperate for followers. Like I said before, since back then I was desperate for attention. But as you could see, the question 2 is like asking like if my characters should put on clothing, and 2 people voted yes, only 2. So that allowed me we have a second viewer. Welcome to the tour. I'm just like going over like the MinceraftLive account from the start to like current. As you can see here, it's just asking this question and 2 people voted for it. And because of this voting, some things will change, but right after this project, it will be leading to my 1-year anniversary. As you could see, this was April 28th, 2023. This was when it was exactly 1 year for my account. As you can see, it doesn't show much. It doesn't do too much, but as you can see, it shows up as 1-year anniversary. See, all the characters were here. Just, it wasn't really much. Just it would tell us 1 year. But anyways, right after this, it will be the my Scratch Association 2023 sign up. It's the same premise as the 2022 one. See, we have all the characters, but this is also when I also teased like the clothing for my characters for Minceraft, and right after this one, this was when the clothing update comes around, which was released on May 8th, 2023. This was when I gave in clothing for my characters, but comes in free clothing. The main clothing, the swimsuit, and the underwear, and that's it. And this is it. As you could see here, it's just free basic like clothing. And you could even see some of the underwear is just ridiculously long for no reason. Man, things looked different. And then we come next to the thumbnail one. No, not thumbnail. I meant the profile picture one. It's called the new profile picture of June. This was when I would make a profile picture just from like seasonal months like June, July, August. I would do that back then. See, You can see of how this is trying to be sand, but it looks kind of odd. So this really, it really looks so ridiculous. If I were to remake this one, I would definitely try to make it look like it's sand. Like, that is crazy. You can even see the arms just bend so odd. Wow. This is so odd. This is so odd looking, but anyways. Then I released a project going on a summer holiday, and then made a project that came back, made a poster for scratches such as Minecraft Raiders, the future awaits. This is like the same spin-off as the, hold on, okay, still fourth, okay, I'll play that one here. I'll just gotta let it sit for a bit.
Ah, another fine day today. I think I should walk outside today. Huh? What's this? A portal? What is it doing here? Hello there, I'm you from the future, and I need your help. Evil Minceraft from the future is sending in the Minecraft Raiders to the future Scratch world.
You
Not
can
only
see
that,
his
my
future.
friends are in danger.
Minceraft meets
Can you
his
please
future
come to my
self,